Right then, welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Good now time. Hello to and welcome to the Covenstead. Hello, who's here? Yolandi's here and Gorkin Cthulhu. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Oh, new setup by the way. Do you like it? I like it. It's quite cool. Yeah, got all these fancy new stuff that I can use now on the videos and the lives. But I suppose the first thing to do is a sound check. It looks like the sound's going through, but just give me a heads up if there is a problem, and I'll sort that out. Anyway, so how is everybody? Let's just see some good stuff, and it's clear and everything else. I've been messing around with my mic, my laptop mic, the phone mic, everything this weekend, so hopefully we're all good. Not sure this is something's going on with the live on YouTube. I know I'm talking to you because I've got a response, but it's not showing as me coming through on my side. But anyway, let's carry on. Hopefully everything works fine. So, Covenstead, welcome everybody, and this is just an hour where we can just talk about magic. Whatever you want to talk about, whatever questions you've got. If you want to start a discussion about something, then just drop it in the chat, and I'll give you my best interpretation of things. Carefree, hello Carefree, you good? I'm watching you from YouTube. Okay, cool. So everything's going through fine. That's all right then. So what's everybody been up to? What would you like to talk about? I usually like to start off with books. Let's see, what have I been reading? I did read Technosis. I'm going to talk about techno-paganism tomorrow on the Path series, which is a bit difficult to talk about, but some very, very interesting stuff that can be pulled out of that. I am busy reading, I forgot the name of it now, let me just go and have a look. It's a book on astral projection and lucid dreaming. It is called Behind the Veil. Very good, I'm really enjoying it. Very interesting stuff in there. And also reading The Flying Witches of Veracruz by James Andretti, because somebody asked me to review that, so I'll review that at the end of the month. But I've had to kind of read some of his other books to try and get a better idea of him, because interesting character, but a bit difficult to pin down. So yeah, reading another one of his books, which is completely different to Flying Witches of Veracruz. But we'll see what happens there. What's everybody else reading? Everybody's very quiet today. Let us know how you're doing. Otherwise I'm just going to drink my hot chocolate. Morgan, hello, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. God King Cthulhu, I've been reading a lot about flying ointment. Any thoughts? There's a lot of different flying ointments, and obviously, the original traditional flying ointments have poisonous plants in them. So, unless you are a herbalist and a proper trained herbalist, I would, or you know one that can actually make a proper flying ointment for you, I would be very careful about what you're taking. But there are a lot of modern, if you want to call them modern, flying ointments that people have put together, and they're very useful, very good. Oh, Rev Kai's here. Hello, Rev. How are you doing? So the modern flying ointments they work, they're useful, they're very good, and they're not as dangerous. You'll find them in books like, I know Calden, was it Calden wrote Crooked Path? I think he put some flying ointments in there. There was, just trying to think of books I've read over the past yearish by modern authors. Um, there was one by Jason Mankey. Oh, I've forgotten the name. I cannot remember the name. It had to do with, yeah, can't remember the name, sorry. But there are some pretty good modern authors that have some good recipes out, which are, as I said, not as dangerous as the original traditional flying ointments that, where you've got mandrake, and some might even have datura, which is actually the book I mentioned that I'm reading at the moment, The Flying Witches of Veracruz, is all about datura, devil's apple or devil's weed. And yeah, very interesting, as I said, very interesting person, James Andretti. Never heard of him before. I've actually seen some books that I wanted to read of him, but haven't gotten to him, so now I have. Yeah, just can't put my finger on him though. So, what's everybody else reading? There was actually a book on flying ointments. Very small book. Don't know what the title was. I've probably got it somewhere in my collection on my computer. I'll have a look at it at some stage and see if I can find it. Listening to the audio book Subtle Energy, Handbook of Psychic Energy Manipulation, written by Keith Miller. Haven't heard of it or read it, but sounds interesting. I actually have to take a note of that, see if I can add it. Kai's reading, I'm back in Agrippa's. I actually need to read Agrippa, and I also want to read Levy again. Get myself, because that's been years since I read those. I need to get myself caught up with them again. Carefree, it's more hermetic than New Age. Okay, cool. I enjoy all of the energy stuff, so if it's got to do with energy manipulation, I'm definitely there. I will definitely make a note of that. Actually, let me write it down now, otherwise it's going to disappear. Excuse me, while I just go across the screen there. Say subtle energy. So this is where my camera goes all wobbly while I'm writing on the desk. Keith Miller. Cool. Thank you for the book suggestion. Maybe I'll add it to the reviews. I've got a lot of books that I need to review. There are a lot of suggestions, which is great. Thanks for all of those suggestions. Plush, opinion on Gallery of Magic books. I don't like them. I actually think we spoke about them last week. There's a number of reasons, and there's one main reason I don't like Gallery of Magic. Well, the main reason is the guy's a plagiarist, plain and simple. So now Damien Brand. He's a plagiarist. He takes all his information from everywhere else. Reason I say he's a plagiarist is because he's taken lots of portions out of my mentor's books, Yukova's Swatch, and Yukova's had to go through a whole episode of trying to prove that it was actually his material originally, so that he could actually go ahead and publish his next book, which was a bit of a pain in the ass. So I really don't like Gallery of Magic. Before I found that out, I didn't like them anyway, because their books, their information in their books, the way they present it is very simplified. I don't have a problem with simplification. I do like to simplify magic myself, but there's no background. It's just do this and you'll find out that it works. It's kind of like the nice way of saying do it or don't do it, but this is the only way you're going to actually get results, is my way. But very simplified, no background, so there's an explanation of magic which may cover 1 or 2 pages, and then do X, Y, and Z, and you'll get results. That's fine, but why are you getting results? There's a lot of reasons you can get results, and some people are out there to just screw you around. I just never liked them. Let's see, Morgan asking about Carefree. It's really interesting so far. Okay. And Morgan, he's a good marketer. Are we talking about Keith Miller now? Not sure. Hope it's useful. Cool. A free lesson with a subscription to Everend. I've actually got an Everend subscription. I'd enjoy Everend. Old scribed. I actually prefer that to Kindle. Because if you've got to buy a Kindle subscription, and then if you want the audiobooks, you've got to buy a subscription to, what is it? Whatever they call it, their audiobooks part. Everend's great because it's got both ebooks and audiobooks for the same subscription. So, Gallery of Magic. Okay, all right. So, I think we've gone around that one. Morgan, I started with some GOM stuff, but moved on. Kindle. Yeah, Kindle Unlimited. I actually found that a bit strange, to be honest, because you pay for a subscription, and it's great because not all the books are available in Kindle Unlimited. You have to buy some of them over and above the subscription, and then you're only allowed a certain amount in your library, and then you have to give them back, and so you can get a new one. Really weird. Morgan, Damien Brand, good marketer. Oh, Damien Brand's good. Yeah, he is a good marketer, and I actually have a feeling that because it was just Damien Brand at one stage, and now it's got various other people on there. I think it's just the same person under different pen names, and there's a couple of other places that, if you look at the book covers, they all look very similar, not just Gallery of Magic, so yeah, it gets a bit dodgy. Plus Foolish Fish loves the series. Which series are we talking about now? I'm getting very lost today. Actually, Foolish Fish, talking about Damien Brand and Jacobus, he actually brought that up on his show. He was reviewing Jacobus's first book, and the funny thing is, when he was looking into the author and everything else, he thought that Jacobus was Damien Brand, and then he found out that Damien Brand plagiarized some of the stuff out of the book. So that was a bit of an oopsie. Yeah. Foolish Fish is excellent. Love his stuff. I'm actually going to be as I said earlier, I'm going to be talking about techno-paganism tomorrow. And Foolish Fish actually had a video out yesterday talking about spirituality and technology, which is very interesting, and it actually brings something up that I haven't even thought about. I actually want to ask everybody here, how often have you dreamt of your cell phone or your computer or your laptop or something like that? How often have you actually seen your phone, your mobile phone or your laptop in your dreams? I can't even think of a time I have, and I've never even thought about it. The argument was that the technology, this modern technology, won't cross over into the dream world, which I find very interesting, and I'd love everybody's opinion. So far, everybody I've asked can't think of a time when they've seen their phone or something in their dreams. Morgan Solee, any thoughts on Moloch? Do you work with him, or could you do a Demon of the Week video? I'll definitely do a Demon of the Week video. I'm sure he's on the list that I created the other day. I don't work with him, I never have. Just not one that I've ever needed to work with. So not really much of an opinion, actually, to be honest with you. Plush, never. Yeah, never dreamt of myself. No, you've never. Carefree, well, good question. I don't believe I have, for real. No. Morgan hasn't. It's really interesting, and I'm very curious about this now. Because he actually, in the video, he talks about, technology. If we think about technology, technology is something new, which is introduced in order to advance the human race, kind of thing. So, a lot of things have been technology. The wheel was new technology at one stage. But how that affects the spiritual world, if you think of iron, was discovered 5 to 8,000 years ago, and at the time it was new technology, and we started creating weapons and tools and things out of iron, and then we discovered that certain races or certain fae couldn't come into our space because of the iron. So this new technology that we started using all of a sudden wouldn't cross those boundaries. And he kind of proposes the idea that cell phones, new technology, cell phones, computers, cyberspace can't cross over into the spiritual world or the dream world. Rev Kai said, no cell phones in my dreams, but my watch is there. Not functional though. Have you got? I'm sure you've got a digital watch. I'm just wondering if you've got an analog watch or not. But I'm wondering if a digital watch even would be the same functionality as a cell phone. Can we consider it to be a computer? Morgan, thank you, Liam. My dreams, I see work sites and school, like I am back in college. Yeah, I tend to see, I actually have, every now and again, I love dreaming about, I've got 2 places that I go to. Haven't had it for, it only happens like every few years. But there are these houses, there's one, it's like an old broken down house, and there's a hole in the wall, and I go into the hole, and then there's all these passages and stuff through it. I love it. And then there was another one, it's like a multi-story house. I love going there. I don't dream about that too often. See if I can actually do that consciously. Rev Kai said there are computers in my dreams though. Okay, alright. So we're starting to cross that boundary, I suppose. Morgan, I've seen vehicles, planes, cars, trains, etc. I was actually talking about this, I asked my daughter, obviously, if she's seen a phone in her dreams, and she actually mentioned planes and stuff. Yeah, I think we all have these dreams, and especially it's usually like a weird kind of car that you're driving down the road with. I think quite often that's the conscious mind just reinterpreting a flying dream. Sometimes we do have more of a vivid dream or a lucid dream where we are flying and we remember flying, but in some cases I think our conscious mind kind of just reinterprets that. So if we are flying through the sky, we're going to dream, or the conscious mind is going to insert a plane and things like that. But or we're dreaming about a plane, I don't know. Rev Kai, digital watch with all the linkage to my phone. Okay, I get emails. Oh, one of those ones. That's like a smartwatch. Okay. So far, you're the only person who dreams about technological things that I've asked anyway. Have you ever considered getting on Glitch Bottle? I've never heard of Glitch Bottle before. What's Glitch Bottle? Any tips on lucid dreams? I can do this just a bit. My favourite tip is always get up early and then stay up for a little bit, like half an hour, so you're kind of awake but not fully awake, and then go back to bed early morning, kind of just before sunrise, or going into sunrise is best time, and then go back to bed for like an hour and a half, and you'll find that the lucid dreams are a lot easier to attain, but it takes practice, obviously. I mean, you're not going to do it one day and you're going to have a lucid dream. You might go through a couple of weeks where you just have normal dreams, and then one day all of a sudden you're having a lucid dream. But it's just one of those things you want to keep practicing at. I still need to keep practicing at it. Carefree. Wonder if tech has to reach a certain threshold before entering the subconscious mind in dreams. I'm not entirely sure. It's definitely something I'm going to be thinking about. Never considered it before, so yeah. Glitch Bottle is an awesome podcast. Oh, okay. Focused on the area of grimoire magic, but not super tightly. Okay, right. Got to write that one down. Glitch Bottle. Is it on? I assume it's on Spotify. I usually line up on all my stuff. I'll have a look anyway. Right. So that's all of that discussion. What are we going to talk about next? Morgan, thank you, Lee. It's a pleasure. Carefree, I've listened to Glitch Bottle a few times. Okay, alright. At least I know what it is now. Sure it is YouTube and Apple Podcasts for sure. Yeah, I think everything's on Spotify. It does tend to pick up everything. I think people go on the what they call the posts, and they just get put everywhere anyway. So I think it would be a great interview. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to listen to it first. I don't even know what it's about. Well, I know what it's about, but I haven't heard of it. We're going to wonder if Gen Z dreams are... I was thinking the same thing, if Gen Z dreams are their tech, since they were raised with it. I was actually asking Andy earlier if... I was asking her about the seeing cell phones in a dream. She said, yeah, maybe the teenagers nowadays will have nightmares if they don't have their cell phones in their dreams. Sorry, not picking on you younger guys, just saying. But I was actually wondering the same thing then. If, because, like myself, for instance, when I was growing up, I didn't have the whole cell phone thing. Oh, look, I've lost my shoulder. Hang on a second. I didn't have the whole cell phone thing. Got to shake out the shoulder. So technology was very different for me. So I'm actually curious to know if people who are born into the world of technology actually do have, dream all the time about their cell phones and stuff. It'd be very interesting. Do you use planetary hours and days when doing the working? I do, yeah. I like to try and get as much energy, positive, or try and connect with as many positive things as I can when I'm doing it working. So I will check out the planetary hours and also the moon phase, and the hour of the day, the day of the week, and all of that stuff. Sometimes it's not possible if it's something I need to do immediately. Hang on, let me just move my chair. Otherwise, my shoulder keeps disappearing. There we go. I got a little... It's cool. You can't see it. I can. It's a green screen that fits on your chair. It's brilliant. Love it. So yes, I do work with the planetary hours and days and the moon phase as much as I can. Can't get all of it lined up perfectly, but we can get as much as we can, just to add to the energy and to boost it a bit. And I hope everybody's got their hot chocolate. Oh, sorry this was a bit earlier today. I wasn't sure. We did say that we were going to have load shedding at, in just over an hour, half an hour from now. So I thought I'd do it early so we didn't have to have that interruption. But It's Easter weekend, you know, that's more important than businesses staying open. Plush has got coffee, good stuff. I always like, I don't want to drink my hot chocolate on the shows. And Carefree's got apple juice, that's very healthy. It's much healthier than we are. And Morgan's got coffee as well. Cool. Right, so what do you guys want to talk about? Spoken about books I'm reading. What I'm doing on Monday. The book I'm reviewing this coming month. Any plans or thoughts on the solar eclipse? Oh, maybe Rev Kai can chime in here. I was actually going to ask on our Wildwood Discord server if there's any particular magic that we should be focused on or not focused on, because sometimes these things are a case of just stay inside and do not go outside during the eclipse. So I want to I'd love to get Kai's opinion on that. Very short opinion, obviously, because it's in the chat. Luna's here. Hello, Luna. You are 26 minutes late, but it's okay. We're not going away anytime soon. Okay. Just trying to think what else I can talk about. My own practice has just been the same thing day in and day out at the moment, so not really much I can talk about there. Luna, yay, good stuff. Okay, Kai, it depends on if it activates your chart, If not, free to do magic. If so, probably won't have successful magic, but it depends. Okay, so the general takeaway from that, I would say, would be it's okay to do magic. It's not one of those you want to stay inside for. Okay, I haven't actually checked the Discord server. I will go check after the show. Good stuff. Alright, so check if it's activating your chart or not. And yes, there you go. How many on average, Plush, how many hours on average do you spend per day on magic? Generally, is this including reading? Because I consider that to be magic as well, because it's knowledge. If it doesn't include reading, then about at least an hour on meditation and practice and stuff like that. Maybe 2 if I'm doing something particular, some working or spell or something like that. If you include reading, then maybe add an extra hour or 2. Yeah. Luna, thanks. Okay, that was just replying to Carefree. Morgan Lee, so do you view Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh or Adonai as different from Jehovah? I actually do. I know everybody else has this idea that Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh or Adonai or Yahweh is Jehovah or Yahweh. But, I think that whole thing took different, losing my words at the moment, a different manifestation over centuries. So, if we're talking about Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh being the original source, that's different to what we may consider the the Yahweh, which became the Christian God. But even before that, it was the God within the desert, which I think is different again. And then, obviously, the Christian God after that, which became an egregore. So, I do think there are different. I mean, if we look into, if you do look into Kabbalah, it is kind of very polytheistic. Some will argue it's not, it's monotheistic. Others will argue it's polytheistic. But what we're looking at really is different faces of the source, that all-know thing that I like to call the Om-Nil, coined from, or taken from William Gray's mention of the all-know thing, the Om-Nil. I love the word, love the title. But yeah, I kind of do, actually, myself, my personal opinion. Kai, this on is at 19. So we'll directly hit 19 cardinal and 4 mutable placements. Okay. See, now that's astrology talk. That goes quack, 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 right over my head. I know other people, only other guys understand what's going on. I hardly don't. Carefree, for sure. Luna, this is beautiful synchronicity. Excuse me. As I've taken the decorating my Hecate journal whilst listening to Into the Wildwood, just got my journal out to decorate, and here you are. Good stuff. There we go. Carefree, Aries rising for me at Rev Kai. Join us on, if you haven't joined Into the Wildwood Discord server, please do so. No, I don't have the link directly available at this very moment, but if you go onto YouTube, search for Into the Wildwood, you'll see myself and Rev Kai bouncing around on the screens. There is a link tree in all of the descriptions to those videos, and you'll find the Discord server in there. And yeah, we can, you've got a shortage of words that you can actually use on here, so a lot easier to ask questions in there as well. And join, because we love having people ask questions and comment. Oh, there we go. Rev Kai can post links. That's because you're a moderator or something. Alright, Plush said, some ceremonial types are like priests and they seem to spend hours per day on ritual work, or so they suggest. A lot of people do, if they can. I mean, obviously, I have various businesses. One is web development, the other one is this, my spiritual practice, my spiritual business that I'm trying to build up more. So we've all got to make a living, we've all got to pay the bills. But obviously I can spend a bit more time on practices than various other people can. I remember speaking to somebody who was trying to start a meditation practice. His day was so jam-packed full, it was impossible. It really was. And it wasn't a case of, watch half an hour less TV. It was really, his day was so jam-packed with getting up, getting his children ready, going to work, coming home, picking the children up, coming home, making supper for the children, putting them to bed, and then just doing something, because he had 2 jobs, if I remember. His day was just so jam-packed, it was impossible. So it depends on what your schedule is and how you can, shift things around to get a good practice in. But obviously I can practice a bit more than various other people. Still need to do work, obviously. But there are some people who can afford to give that amount of time, 4 or 5 hours a day. There aren't that many, not in our modern age. The whole sacred magic of Abramelin, where you have to give up 6 months of your life and give your household over to somebody who can take care of it, because you can pay them to do that. That's very different times than we have now. Kai said you can find the link in the server on our website also. Okay, there we go. Morgan is why high magic isn't for everyone. Yeah, you know, and I think when it comes to ceremonial magic, it's a good avenue to take. There are some things I would obviously disagree with in that route, in that path, but there's some excellent things you can glean out of it. But you are probably going to spend more time than usual on practices and learning practices, but you can fit it into a normal everyday life, you know, going to work and coming home and doing practice. But you know, if you're going to start doing something like, it comes up every now and again in our chats, Franz Barden's his workbook, really, that starts, you know, it starts off okay. You know, you do the first lesson, the first exercise, and it's cool, and then you add the next exercise to the next lesson, and you keep adding the exercises on. Eventually you're doing 4, 5, 6 hours a day, which gets a bit difficult, but you know, it's how you can adjust your time management is really an important thing in magic. Rev Kai, oh, my voice keeps going. It's probably going to have a noticeable effect for you then, with an Aries rising. I would suggest you open up. Okay, well, it's in response to Carefree. Plus 4, 5 hours is a lot of time. It is a lot of time, and it's something I wouldn't be able to do myself. You know, as I said, that includes reading, but I do my morning practice. So I get up in the morning, I do all my morning stuff and my morning practices, which may take an hour and a half. If I was to do everything in that time, what I often do is do a portion of it for an hour, and then I'll do something in the evening, half an hour or something like that. And then I'll have breakfast and I'll start my day, and that's if I get my time right, because I'm sleeping a lot lately. But if I do actually get up in time, that starts my day about 8 o'clock. If I get up a bit later, it might be 9 o'clock. But I can afford to do that because I run my own business. So I still get the work done, but you know, I'm not going out to an employed job, a job where I'm employed. There you go. But throughout the day, I will then read. I'll do some work and I'll do some reading, I'll do some work, I'll do some reading, because again, I can do that. As long as I get my work done. If I've got a shit ton of work to do, I'll just work. I won't read, I won't do anything, I'll just work and get it all finished. But quite often my time allows me to do that. It's work, read, work, read, work, read. So I do kind of fit that in throughout the day. And then in the evening, I kind of get into bed early and I read. And then that puts me to sleep, and then I sleep. So I have a lot of reading time. So yes, alright, now where were we? I've lost my place. Okay, that's more response to Carefree. Yep. Plus I think GOM has a book where you can contact your HGA in weeks. Yeah, well, you can do it, but I wouldn't trust a book from Gallery of Magic. It's possible, you know. I've forgotten the blasted name again. It's a book called Holy Guardian Angel, and it's written, as far as I know, it's Jason Miller. It's various different writers in the book, authors in the book. I'm actually going to look for it because it's a brilliant book, so I can give you the title. Just get all the stuff out of the way so I don't knock my hot chocolate over. Please hold. It's a brilliant book, and I like it because it has different viewpoints from different people. It might have been Skinner. I'll just put that in as well. Stephen Skinner. And it kind of it splits it into three parts as well, where this must be the book, where it kind of talks about how to do the practice, and then it also discusses what happens after the practice, the adjustments that need to come along with it. Okay, no. Jason Miller's got a course on his website, although it's not active. Okay, maybe he did have a course. Sorry, still looking for the book. But different perspectives from a lot of different people, and it really is brilliant. Where is this darn book? Well, let's try this book. Don't know if this is it. Oh, this is it. Okay, so it is called the Holy Guardian Angel, and it's edited by Michael. I don't know how to say this name. Actually, I never have. Cacciatelli. Hang on. Let me actually just do this and put it in here, and hopefully it comes through okay. Okay, that's the book. Brilliant book. It's got articles from Darren Scriven, Jason Miller, Scott Michael Stenwick, Frater Rufus Opus, Aaron Leach, Frater Ashen Hassan, let's see, Derek Richards, Kevin Ablett, Conjurman Ali, Mike Cacciatelli, hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, so it's got some great stuff. And I think, what happens after you've actually gained this is very important. How you adjust, because I didn't have a community and I kind of screwed things up a bit. But everything's good now. Where was I? Okay, Carefree. Cosmic Enigma is here. Hello, Cosmic. I've just joined so late to the party. What are you saying? Needs 4 or 5 hours a day. I've just read up the chat but can't find. Somebody was asking about people who practice ceremonial magic, and they are doing a practice which is 4 or 5 hours a day, which is not easy for most people. You'll probably actually find it's more probably Crowley stuff, Thelema and Golden Dawn, still kind of around in book form, I think, but as far as I know, the organisation has fallen away. Morgan at Plush, the angel books were okay, the demons oriented books used bindings, and I didn't like that. Moved to S. Conley's methods. Yeah, I don't like the threatening and everything. Plus, you bought a few Jason Millers on your recommendation. Jason Miller's just brilliant. I love Jason Miller's work. Can't go wrong. Morgan, what's that? Ceremonial Magic recommendation. And Carefree, completely agree. And blah, blah. Is it the one from Scarlet Imprint? Is it the one from Scarlet Imprint? I'm not sure. Let me just check. It's Nephilim Press. I know this is the same book, so I recognise the parts and the authors, but it's definitely got a different cover. Maybe they came out with another edition, and it may have been Scarlet imprint, I'm not sure. Let's see, where am I? Cosmic Enigma, thank you. 4 or 5 hours doing magic, but I'm picking up that's not actual ritual, it's researching also. There is a lot of research involved, but what you'll find is there's a lot of ritual practice that needs to be included, because when you start doing those kind of rituals, and they do take a long time. I mean, a ritual can take 2-3 hours. I mean, even if you do, if you go into Connolly's work, into actual, her version of gate opening, those gate opening rituals can take 2 hours. Because you're progressively opening up to 10 gates. You don't have to open all 10 gates, it depends on what work you're doing. But you're opening up all the gates, and it can take 20 to 30 minutes to open one gate with her method. And then you step through and you open up the next gate, and you step through and you open up the next gate. So those rituals, you need a lot of space as well. You need like a warehouse. But they can take like 2 hours to just complete. So even the ceremony, when coming back to ceremonial magic, their rituals can be very lengthy. If you read through their equinox rituals, they are extremely long. And obviously you've got to put practice in every day to keep up with what's going on, the energy flow, and the actual. You can't just go into a ritual and read it off a book. You've got to memorize it. You've got to know what you're doing when you go into these rituals. So, yeah, there's a lot of practice involved there, not just research. Alright, Cosmic, why do some choose angels and others demons to work with? Personal preference, really is. There's a lot of factors that can come into this. Some people may still have that Christian worldview ideology that demons are bad, angels are good, and therefore they'll stick with the angels. Other people have worked with an angel and found it that it's beneficial to them, so they'll stick with that. Some people will work with angels and demons depending on what work they're doing. Other people have a completely different perspective of angels, and will only work with demons, like myself, for instance. So personal preference, personal worldview, lots and lots of different factors that come into that. We'll check out Connolly plush paperback, $222.50. Is that for the Holy Guardian Angel book? Go on to archive.org. Brilliant site. Everybody should be on archive.org. It's on there, and it's free. Morgan, it's expensive on Amazon, but it's on Scribd. Yeah, if it's on archive, I think you can. Let me just check if it's just borrow or you can download. Yeah, on archive you can only borrow it, but archive's brilliant, and it is, you're not don't have to worry about copyrights and all those things that we authors don't like people to do. So archive.org, brilliant. Actually, I'll put the link to. Not sure where it says mode to up. Hang on, let me just go. Does that change it? No, it doesn't change the link. Oh well, it'll take you to, should take you to the book anyway. I'll put this in there. Yeah, there are a lot of books now. I think this one's out of print. So, there are a lot of books that are getting quite expensive. Okay, now I've lost my place again. Morgan. Oh no, I've already read that. Carefree. Enigma. For myself, I found demons to be grounding, since I'm more mystical than practical. Yeah, I just find that demons are more concerned with daily happening, human daily stuff, and so more chthonic, more terrestrial rather than celestial. It's just my preference. like the energy. Sappho is here. Hello, Sappho. Which book? We were talking about a book that I recommended, The Holy Guardian Angel, by various authors, or various people writing in it. That thing. Mercury's definitely going to get me this year, this time. Oh. Maybe I should... Kai, I think I'm going to learn sign language from you. Maybe it'll be easier. Right, let me get back here. Sappho... Oh, Cosmic Enigma, that makes sense actually. I did a mushroom ceremony a few months ago and I was gone for 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, I can do that. Yep, that's the book. Thanks. Sounds cool, yes. Cosmic Enigma said more drawn to demons, although I haven't done any ritual. I was actually talking about this earlier, when we talk about the daemonic or the daimonic within demonolatry. The interpretation is divine intelligence, and although we know that the pantheon is focused in the ancient Middle East, Sumeria, Babylon, even going into Greek and into Egypt, various places of Africa. That's where the pantheon's sort of focused. Divine intelligence covers all of it, everything, all of them. And a lot of demon artists will work with, well, not a lot, some will work with Enochian angels and do Enochian magic. Not something I've really got into myself. Just I don't have the space to do the proper Enochian workings. Yeah, not sure why I mentioned that, but anyway, carrying on. Morgan, I personally tried both and had better results with demonic. Yeah, that's fine. Plus, you started a preference for demonic work. Is this due to your satanic background? Do you consider yourself a left-hand path magician? Myself, no. I started out as a neo-Wiccan. I did the neo-paganism, the Wicca thing for a while. Then I found Robin Artisan and got into traditional witchcraft. And that's then when I met Kai. And then I started. The whole reason I got into what I don't like using the term left-hand path, but what people call left-hand path, is that when I was doing the whole neo-Wicca thing and moving into traditional witchcraft and all that, and studying as much as I could, I kind of thought to myself, I'm now doing this Wicca thing. I'm a witch. And I realized, because I came from a Christian background, and I realized that Christians consider witches and Wiccans to be evil. And in those days, it's a bit different now, but 20 to 30 years ago, people in the neo-Wiccan community or the neo-pagan community considered people, Satanists, people on the left-hand path, to be evil as well. And that included things like chaos magic and Discordianism. Well, what I was exposed to anyway. And I thought to myself, so if they think I'm evil, why do I think these other people are evil? And I don't even know anything about them. So I joined the Yahoo group for the First Church of Satan with John and Lily Ali, and absolutely loved them. They're fantastic, wonderful people, and changed my mind completely. Got an education, and then, but I didn't become a Satanist at all. I just made friends with them and learnt more about them, and then carried on. And through the years, it's been Kabbalah, Toltec Warrior Path, core shamanism, chaos magic, a lot of different paths that I've gone down. And then I did the Abramelin operation, and then I had several years where I just gave everything up. I stopped my practice altogether. Um, and then when I was coming back, I was trying to find a path that I could step onto and, pick up my practice again. And that actually went towards Satanism and demonic magic. But I didn't even know about Connolly and demonolatry at that stage. She obviously started writing when I was in my not doing magic phase, or started publishing at least. But I was picking up all the old stuff that I'd learned from like Aaron Leach and Rufus Opus and all of those people, making spirit boxes, trying to do the goetic magic, the whole circle and the triangle, but not feeling comfortable with it, so I didn't really carry on doing that. But making spirit boxes, which I've started doing again now, very good practice. And then, yeah, they kind of transformed, kind of a bit difficult to try and find my feet again. And then discovered Connolly several years ago. So, and her approach to demonolatry, to the respect of the spirits and everything else was exactly what I was looking for. So, that's why I enjoy Connolly's work so much. And I always recommend it because it's exactly what I was looking for 15 years ago. So anyway, well, longer than that, 20 years ago. But anyway, all right, back to the chat. Do I consider myself to be a left-hand path magician? No, I don't. Also, do not consider myself to be a right-hand path magician. In traditional witchcraft, we have the term the crooked path that winds in all directions, walk on the serpent's back type of thing. So it's not a left or a right, because I approach things or try to approach things from a non-dual perspective. And if you start talking about left-hand path and right-hand path, that's dualism, so it doesn't really fit in with my own worldview anymore. Cosmic Enigma. Kai's doing funny finger things. I'm not sure what that is. Me and these emojis. I can't read emojis. Could never do the hieroglyphics. Cosmic. I got a book on Enochian. It looks very complicated. It is very complicated. There are some people who have approached it and I think kind of tried to simplify it a bit so it's not as convoluted and as expensive as the original forms are. But I'm not sure they would work as well. Like we always say, if you are going to learn something new, a new tradition or a new path or something new like Enochian, it's better to immerse yourself in the traditional form and learn it as much as you can, inside and out. And that, with Enochian, would involve setting up a proper table, setting up a proper ritual room, making the sigillum Dei, a meth, or whatever it's called, out of wax, and inscribing the sigil of God on it, and all of those things. And that takes a lot of time, takes a lot of money, takes a lot of room. Well, not a lot of room, I just don't have an extra room for it. I did at one stage, but I didn't really have the money to go into this type of thing, so I never really got into it myself. It's a very interesting thing. It's very interesting to read about and learn about, but actually practicing it, never really got there myself. Jono's here. Hello, Jono. Glad you could join. Do I have to do public service announcements today? Excuse me, Mercury is kicking my arse this evening, so... Jono, hi everyone. After learning about those two Enochian dudes and their wife swap, and then the angels stopped working with them, I'm not really interested in Enochian magic. That wax symbol is cool. It is cool, yeah. Yeah, Kelly and Dee were It's interesting to read about. It really is. I would definitely recommend everybody go read about Dee and Kelly and their adventures in Enochian, and the angelic magic that they did. Luna, public service announcement to Jono. Hey baby, fancy seeing you here. Cute. Plush, thanks. A lot of knowledge, respect. Okay, that's cool. Oops, I think I skipped. Oh, here we go. Morgan, who is that? The two Enochian dudes. Oh, that's John Dee and Edward Kelly. They started the whole Enochian thing. That was like sort of joke to Enochian dudes walk into a bar. That would be a good joke. Cosmic, we live in a dual realm, so very hard to not be dual. Although I did like your analogy of the serpent, it's not a straight line. Yeah, it's an interesting. I always forget the actual phraseology now. I walk the serpent's back. Before me winds. No, behind me winds the tail. Before me, I can't remember now. But it kind of the path you're walking on at this present time. If you look down at the path, it's a straight path. But looking forwards and looking backwards, it's a crooked, windy path. So I like the serpent thing. And that comes from some old Egyptian ceremony, initiation ceremony. I originally heard that on Peter Padden's old podcasts. Really wish they were still around. It is kind of difficult to live or to see things in a non-dual fashion, because we do, but I think things are getting a lot easier. We definitely have aspects within our lives nowadays, and we see it on social media all the time. Being exposed to it more is a non-dual reality. And I think it's being incorporated a lot more into everybody's lives, which I think is a good thing. But there's a lot of old practices, really ancient practices. Even various Hindu practices, which are very much focused on non-dual living, non-dual reality, especially involved with Shaivism, or worship of Shiva and things like that. Kiki Jenkins is here, but deleted their message. Hi, hope you're doing well. Carefree, read some. Feel the Enochian are ETs, entities, or such. Haven't worked with them myself. Yeah, a lot of people do consider them to be extraterrestrials. I know one person, I'm not going to say their name, just in case they don't want me to, who believes that they're actually demons. But at the time when they were doing this, and Kelly and Dee were channeling these spirits, or not channeling, but using the scrying mirror and the crystal ball and stuff to get the messages through. That was a time when if you said you were talking with demons, you were going to be burnt at the stake. There was no two ways about it. So they disguised the language and called them angels. So why not? But quite possibly, because they're difficult to work with. They're extremely difficult. Jono Morgan, there was two Brits who invented it. Of course we did. I can't remember their names. Easy info to find. Yep, John Dee, Edward Kelly. There you go. In fact, it was Edward Kelly who. The suspicion is that Edward Kelly just liked John Dee's wife, and so because Edward Kelly was the one who was doing the scrying, and getting the messages from the angels, and so it's suspected that he just liked John Dee's wife, and he made the whole thing up that the angel said that they need to swap wives. Yeah. I don't think people were that much different to what we are now, anyway. Morgan, yeah, I read some reviews of Enochian angel work and messed some people's lives up. Yeah, it definitely can. I was actually going to find. There's a book that Connolly wrote under one of her pseudonyms. It's a fiction, and I meant to go check what the title was because it actually speaks about green behind the ears type of couple who decided to summon Enochian angels, create a portal through a mirror, and summon an Enochian angel through, and it kind of pulled her through the portal. Great story, loved it, but yeah, it gets into the whole thing of they're not easy to work with at all, really not. Cosmic, that's really interesting. Them possibly being demons. It was said that the angels told Kelly to wife swap. Yeah. Carefree sounds about right about Kelly. Morgan, very tricky on Kelly's part. Yeah. Well, people will be people. What can we do? All right, I think I'm going to bring today to an end. So I've got stuff I need to do. And I'll see you next month again for Covenstead, first Sunday of the month. I'll obviously schedule it so you can actually press the remind you button. And 2 weeks from now, third Sunday of the month, I will do the Cauldron, which is healing half hour. I'll be probably making funny noises again, like I normally do, for a while, and then we'll just talk, see how everybody feels, and see if it helps. Okay. Cosmic said thank you. Carefree Plush. Jono said nice to catch you. Carefree and thank you at Rev Kai. Is anyone interested in connecting? Definitely, as I said, go and check out the Discord server for Into the Wildwood. I've also got the Red Coven server, which is more sort of my stuff, rather than the broad Into the Wildwood stuff. But join both. They're both great. I love them. Let's see. Morgan said thank you. It's a pleasure. Thanks everybody for joining. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the chat. I really enjoy this actually. Have you looked at the link for the Discord? Go and check the description in my videos for my link tree. And hang on a second. I'm going to put the channel. I'm just going to find the channel. Might be easier. And okay, here's the YouTube channel for Into the Wildwood. And in the description there is the link tree, and in there you'll find the link to the Discord server. Yeah, Red Coven is mine, and Into the Wildwood is mine and Kai's. I've got my own because I've got all my membership channels on there that get unlocked when people join memberships. Okay, alright. Good stuff. Thanks everybody for joining, and the chat and everything else. It was fantastic. And I'll see you next time. Let me just make sure I press all the right buttons here. Okay. Cheers for now. Bye bye.